Back everyone, welcome back. It has been far too long here, but welcome back to the Patch Clash Invitational number 1, a brand new invitational series featuring a brand new mod. We're about to get crazy. Good morning everyone, good morning, buenos dias. I'm of course your side VIP. With me I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all. Bienvenidos as it is very early here in the morning. It is 7 a.m. I've got 2 hours of sleep. Let's go. Less than 2 hours of sleep, actually. It'll be fine, baby. It'll be fine. As we do have, once again, a new tournament here, a new mod going to be featured, the Patches mod, of course. The Patches balance mod. We'll get into it. So for the time being, though, spawning in the top left hand corner of Cenotaph, we have the Brazilian Terran player. We have the yellow Terran. It is INexorable. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Canadian Protoss player, the green Protoss representing Born Gosu. It is a Greenert. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into the Patches Clash Invitational, pap. Yay. Shout out to Patches in the Clash. Shout out to Patches in the chat, by the way. As Patches does subscribe for 3 months in a row, and Greenert subscribing for the first time, which was Prime. Thank you so much, baby. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it as always. Share my papi, share my bienvenidos, as we are jumping into our first game of the series, into our TvP. Now, when it comes to this tournament, when it comes to what is going on here, first things first, we have a custom map pool. Welcome to Cenotaph. If you were watching RSL previously this year, I believe it was RSL season 2, then Cenotaph you would have seen. This is one of Avex's maps. This was submitted for the TLMC. This did not make it far in the TLMC. It is an interesting map, is what I will say. It is a very extreme map, though, is also what I will add to that, as it is a very open map. You can see here how open the triangular third base is. You can see how open the linear third bases as well. Very open, very accessible, very difficult to defend. Your own third, your fourth, your fifth base as well. Even your natural is a little bit more open, so it can be very difficult to defend. I mean, in general, your two base setup here should be relatively secure, but your third, fourth, and fifth will be very difficult to defend and maintain. We have the central Zelnaga towers as well. We have Zelnaga towers towards the edges of the map as well. It's a very interesting map for sure, but hyper aggression is favored here, and we'll see how aggressive our players plan on being. For the time being, Reaper does move out for a bit of a scout, but when it comes to the maps, again, the maps are going to be more unique. That's going to be one kind of aspect to the event, but the other aspect is the balance mod that is being featured in this tournament, and there are a lot of changes. Too many to go through, to be honest. I'm not too sure if we have a command in the chat, but if not, I will be posting a link in the chat for the patch mod, for the patches mod. Not confusing whatsoever. But there are changes made to almost everything. A bunch of upgrades have been added as well. Some of the major changes, I will say, for Terran, the ghost was adjusted quite heavily here in this mod, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing some of that in the game itself. Oh, as Reaper Heli does pull back to the high ground, does pull back to the tall grass, is going to be zoned away here, as we do have a more tech heavy start out of INexorable, going for a later CC. Later CC, faster factory, faster starport as well. The initial stalkers are going to be able to force a cancel, though. They cancel the bunker, and they shouldn't be able to force a CC, where they get a lot of damage done and a big delay on the CC as well. So nice delay here on the command center, as the INexorable is stumbling his way into his 1-on-1. But a bunch of changes were made to the Ghost, a bunch of changes made to the Liberator, a bunch of upgrades have been made. We have the rework of the Raven. True, the Raven was also reworked. Oh, as the initial Stalker does get caught. There's a bunch of later game upgrades that are designed to kind of give units a little bit more viability getting into a longer and later game, which is an interesting aspect. Oh, as Greenert doesn't pull back in time, he will lose one of the Stalkers, the other barely does recall back home. So Greenert gets the hell out of there. INexorable building up his drop, Reapers into the main, and so far we're building up into our two bases. Oh, exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. It is an 8-player bracket. Again, remember, this is an invitational. We have 2 series happening concurrently. We have this match between Greenert and INexorable. We also have Mixu series taking place as well. So we have 2 matches first, and then we'll be diving into the lower quarterfinal matches, including players like Pig. El Chanchito, papi, El Chanchito. God, I can't believe he's playing at 7 a.m. I'll be like, he's crazy, man. He's crazy. Aye. We'll try to approach each of the upgrades and each of the changes as they pop up. Now, INexorable going for his drop. Headed towards the main. Jesus, there's so many entrances into the main base. So far does defend, he deflects. Army's trying to respond. The third base taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. So far, Greenert is keeping up. Right, there was the Raven rework. There were the added upgrades here to the Medevac, to the Banshee. I'll get there. When it comes to Protoss, one of the big changes is due to the warp-in mechanic. Very quickly kind of touching on that. Instead of having a delayed warp-in if you warp in across the map at a proxy gateway location, instead you actually warp in at the same duration. So we have the same kind of warp-ins, except it is weaker just because you warp in without shields. So Protoss units that warp in without any shields, if they're proxied. I believe that is also impacted that also does impact the warp gate. Sorry, the warp prism I meant to say. As INexorable, he rallies across the map. There's no delay to the push. Greenert out of position. Tanks are sieging already. And we spoke about this earlier, but again, this third base is so open on Cenotaph. So open, so exposed. No cloak of the Banshees. Zell's trying to break through, getting over the initial tank. Yeah, first tank goes down, but the other tank just punishes behind this. Yeah, the punish is a little bit too good here. The tanks are within range. And this base is going to fall. There's no defending this. Unfortunately, Greenert, he wasn't able to engage ahead of time. He wasn't able to slow this down. And INexorable, he's just going to snowball out of control. He will break the expansion, break the third. And from here, he's going to consolidate. He's going to back up. So he doesn't overextend. Breaks the expansion, pulls away. And Greenert is in a very rough position. Despite all the changes, I will say that the dynamic of TvP is still going to be the same, where it's going to be difficult here to maintain or to regain any kind of momentum that you would lose here. In TvP, at least in the base game of Terran vs Protoss, it is very difficult to recover from these losses early on, and it feels the same way here as well. The pressure's on Greenert to try to find some kind of counter damage, but for the time being, he's stuck at home. Moves out for a scout. Back at home, we do see, I think INexorable still committing here on 2 bases. The OTC is finishing up. But it is going to be a tough hold. I will say that because of the change to warp gates into the warp-in mechanic, it does mean that Greenert has even less counterattack potential. Even if he did have a prism across the map. So any kind of harassment, any kind of counterattack is going to be significantly weaker here from Greenert. And INexorable's building up. Building up, getting ready for wave number 2. Alright, I forgot that you can destroy the tower in the center. Oh, and it's also a healing pad as well. Let's go. Again, there are a lot of really interesting ideas here when it came to Cenotaph, for sure. Interesting. You can see the Greenert, he's slowly trying to recover. Storm is on the way. Storm is a little bit different here. The damage output, I would say, has been increased compared to what Storm is currently. But again, it is still a little bit more damage over time. I should say it does have a little bit more impact than the current Storm, as it does more damage in a shorter period of time. But INexorable again, he's up 20 supply. Pushing forward, tanks are sieging. Oh. And Greenert, he cannot quite engage here. Not like this. He's gonna try. Mine shot's going up. Oh, we have a couple more Zells trickling in. Let's go. Not quite able to. The Archon gets caught. INexorable pushing further forward. Once again, sieging up. Yeah, without those Zealots, there's no buffer. There's no buffer, there's no support. The Immortals are going to be going down one after the other. They get targeted, they get focused. And once again, Greenert will lose this third. There's no way to defend this. Like, no shot. Third base is going to go down for a second time. INexorable this time behind this on 3 bases of his own. Really mining. Yo, we got the new charge upgrade on the way. Let's go. The new hold on, I'll quickly check. That's kinetic safeguard. Okay, there you go. Fourth base is going to be denied. Meanwhile, we do have a double drop in towards the natural. It upgrades charge to ground plus 3 shields armor for 3 seconds. There you go. It is, I guess, similar to the Immortal in reference to the shield. Greenert trying to get there. INexorable is almost maxed out. He's almost maxed out. Now, there is a world where potentially INexorable will take some storms to the face. The problem here, of course, is how just beefy the army is. Because it's so Marauder heavy, he can tank some storms. He can tank it. Cells collapse in. Yo, there are the shields. Visually, it looks cool. Visually. But only in the last 3 seconds. Has been triggered. And tanks moving in. Shows those EMPs. Oof. The EMPs connect. 0 storms. No storms available. INexorable, he stims and he wins. GG gets called, and INexorable, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, it was just a very rough start for Greenert. INexorable, he was hyper aggressive, going for the early push at the third base. Unfortunately, Greenert, he was unable to spot the move out, unable to delay the push, and unable to engage ahead of time. Honestly, when he lost his third base for the first time, that was kind of game then and there. It's very, very difficult to recover. I would have said that one of the options there would be to go for a 2-base all-in and try to be hyper aggressive, or try to cut a bunch of corners, but try to play macro, try to play standard from there, trying to recover. And it is a rough road to recovery after losing your third base that early on in the PvT matchup. I mean, it goes both ways, but yeah, really rough setup there from Greenert. GG, well played. With that, INexorable takes the lead in the series, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Let's go. Getting ready for that second game. As game 2 is going to be on washouts. Oh, okay. Another one of the TLMC maps. Is it? Oh, hold on. Interesting. How many map features do you want in the center? Avex, yes. There's a lot there. 2 hours, my afternoon nap was longer. Take care, baby. I will get some sleep after this. Appreciate doing this. Thank you, thank you. But I do apologize if you hear me like slurring my words or yawning or something. I'm working with very minimal sleep. But we'll make it. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Okay, we're good. As spawning in the top right hand corner of washouts, we have the yellow Terran player. We have the resilient Terran leading the series 1-0 in the specified quarterfinals match. It is INexorable. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the green Protoss player, the Canadian Protoss, or his name born goes to. It is Greenert. Here we go. So we're diving into game number 2 here. Welcome to Washout. Washout, another one of the not standard maps in the map pool, or not ladder maps, I should say. Interesting setup here. We do have, I would say, a bit of a more standard setup here. We have our natural base, which is a little bit more secure. I'm gonna say that. I will say that Blink is going to be potentially a little bit stronger here. The distance between the ramp and the entrance to the natural is a little bit longer, so we can try to make use of that. We have rocks in the center of the map as well. No Zelnaga towers. We have the hybrid bases in the corners. Towers can actually destroy the gold mineral patches. I'll be honest, I don't know if we can really make it that far in this game, so to take advantage of those corner bases, I would love to, but we'll see if we can get there. We shall see. As we have a relatively accessible main base to Blink Stalkers. The distance between the 3rd and 4th base is relatively long, so longer distance. If we can get up to 4 bases. Once again, we expect to see INexorable. We expect him to be aggressive on 2 bases once again. And we'll see that if that aggression continues. For now, single gas opener. INexorable is going for a faster CC. A direct opposite here to what we saw last game, where INexorable was much more tech heavy. This time, much more economic. Much more economic opener. Twilight Council is going to be the take-up choice of Greenert. Getting into the council. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing a bit of an earlier charge-based build. I mean, it is meant to be a little bit safer. It allows you to shut down these aggressive all-ins, or these committed move-outs. It may work well against an INexorable. Oof, for now, though, it does get a probe. Probe goes down. We have a safety shield water here on the low ground. INexorable getting into his 1-1-1, building up towards a mine drop. Show us what you got. I'm just very quickly going over the Protoss changes. Reconstruction for the mothership. Okay. I mean, there are some really interesting changes. I will say that I mean, I don't know how it is when it comes to the open cups and the open tournaments that have been held on a semi-regular basis, but it does feel like a lot of the changes and a lot of the upgrades, they aren't really going to be impacting the game until a lot longer, like getting into the later mid-game, into the late game. And I don't know how often we're going to be like experiencing those changes. I hope we get to. Last game we got to see Greenert get the second Zealot upgrade, which was nice. By that point it was a little bit too late to make full use of it and for it to be really showcased. We'll see if we can get there. Angel comes in. Ooh, but it goes down. But we do manage to borrow in time, catching out 2 probes. 2 probe kills, decent defense at the same time. A Reapers into the main, catching out more workers. Greener being pulled apart. Oof. Yeah, losing 4, losing 5 probes. Ay. I do personally think that the biggest change to this matchup, though, is the fact that the Warp Prism and harassing units here are going to be a lot weaker. I feel like that's a big staple of current meta of TvP, is Zealot run by Zealot counterattack, Zealot drops. And for them to warp in without any shield, I mean, it's pretty huge. You want nice time with the tank, okay? Ooh, gets one, goes for the other. We'll take a lot of tank shots to the face. So I'll say tempo tanks. This is going to weaken any kind of move out that that INexorable was planning towards. If he was planning to try to hit and move out with 2 tanks with his stim timing, then that has been stripped away. And I was going for a 3rd CC. So building up into a 3rd base, stim is halfway done. Greenert's going to be reinforcing. Getting to his 3rd base, going for a delayed robo. Okay. Delayed robo out of Greenert. Still being active.
Probes are in danger.
Raven passes across the map. Hallucination towards the main base. Greenert is going back into the main. Going for the add-ons. Yeah, snipes combat shields. From here, not quite going for Sim, but can he deny the 3rd CC? What are we going for? Nah, mass repair. Yeah, mass repair. INexorable, he just ignores the army. That's a kill, not a cancel. Oof. Yeah, massive loss in the main. But INexorable, he wants the 3rd base of Greenert. And hey, we mentioned this earlier, right? Like, there's a much bigger entrance here into the main base, and so far Greenert has been taking advantage of that. Oh, that's going to be a kill on the Nexus. As it did finish. Stalkers are trying to come in from behind. But there's no saving this. Yeah, there's no saving this. Oof. As the Nexus goes down. And this is going to be favoring the Terran. Sure, INexorable, he lost his 3rd, but so did Greenert. And now we have an even base count. A greater economy for the Terran. Pressure's on Greenert. Oh. Catching the medevac. Let's go. Let's catch the medevac. Picking up a couple of SCVs. At the same time, the auto towers, they were popping off. Actually, 10 probes. Greenert's looking for another way in. Thankfully, he has the observer. Oof. That's what one of the Widow Mines. From here, we're building up. We're building up. We have Colossus on the way this time, no Storm. Building up into Colossi. Which I don't think had any changes, right? Just double checking. Yeah, no changes to the Colossus. Greenert, he tries to engage. So I'll jump into the main. Let's distract. But the prison's going to be shut down. The prison falls. They tend to move in. But again, from the earlier lead that INexorable's had, I mean, now that leads into a 20 supply lead here. Suiting get done. Nice pick goes here at the 3rd. Alright, that's a lot of SCVs. A 9 SCV kills, not bad. Drop into the main base. Ooh, there's so much tech that's vulnerable here. Going for the Temple Archives. Gets one. Gets the Archives. Pulls away. I'm sure tempted to go back in. Oh, before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to SC24 in the chat. God, happy God. Do apologize. It happened during the course of this game. I was a little bit engrossed, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great live session. Hope you had a great time. Bienvenidos, papi. Bienvenidos. Este tu full. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, jeez, those Vikings. So we are building up. Additional Vikings on the way. INexorable, sorry, Greenert getting up to 4 Colossus. Second Robo's on the way, but also trying to work towards more Archons, work towards Storm. Still getting there. Because that Raven is still alive from the early game. 20 kills on that Raven, that's crazy. Yeah. As Vikings, a cannon will punish. Oof. As Colossus almost goes down. Casito. Yeah, I was curious. Auto turret duration was increased. Raven is enjoying it. Enjoying it, Pat. Yeah, so he commits in. Once again, does catch out one of those Colossus. It's a 1. This Ghost is still being incorporated. But without those initial ghosts, though, where the EMPs, oh, now coming in. Nice EMPs in the Archons, getting 1, 2, getting all 3 Archons. But he's running out of Vikings. Greenert, he has momentum. Let's go. He has momentum, only down to 2 Vikings. And again, he just let out too much. He let out too much here. GG gets called. He is overwhelmed. And Greenert, he does tie the series 1-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Honestly, INexorable, he was in a very nice position to be able to deny bases, to be able to maintain map control as well, but it did feel like his transition in towards Ghost was a little bit too late there. We saw Ghost popping out towards the end, but by then we had lost, what, 6 Vikings? So many Vikings had gone down as INexorable was trying to retreat from across the map, and without the said Vikings, he had nothing to do with the Colossus. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Greenert was able to quickly swing things back in his favor, and we have a series. We have a back and forth. Very quickly, what maps are we using here? So we have we have Dream and Scars. Let's go. Yeah, Dream and Scars. We have Celestial, Title Citadel, Tourmaline, Washout, Lumen, and Cenotaph. I don't quite recall Lumen. I'll be honest. I don't quite recall it. But loading into Tourmaline, a much smaller map here, much more aggressive map in the map pool. And we'll see if Greenert can keep up with the aggression of INexorable. Again, short resistance by ground, exposed 3rd, exposed 4th base. Aggression is favored here. We'll see. We shall see. And spawning in the left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the Resilient Terran player. We have the Yellow Terran. It is INexorable. Here we go. And in the top right-hand corner, we have the Canadian Protoss player, the Green Protoss. Oh, as we do have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. Never mind. I'll try to keep an eye on that as well. Yeah. So we'll have to remake. Taking on the mod. Trying to see what other changes were made. I wonder if INexorable is one to embrace mech. There were changes made to the Cyclone, which does make mech a little bit more viable here. Curious. Like battle mech once again. Let's see if he's tempted. There we go. In the right hand corner, we have the Brazilian Terran player. We have the yellow Terran. It is INexorable. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the green Protoss player for Bongosu. It is Greenert. Here we go. So getting into our TvP, this time on the mod. We got here. Nice, tasty, full. Bienvenidos. As we have seen INexorable mix it up so far, game 1 he went double gas, game 2 he went for a faster CC. We'll see what he goes for here in game 3. Oh, there it is, double gas opener going for a faster factory. A more tech heavy start here by INexorable, and we'll see how aggressive he plans on being here. Technically this can lead into a 1-1-1, into a 1 base all in, but regardless it's going to be a more tech heavy start out of our Terran player. Greener's going to poke in and should be able to confirm what's going on. Clicks in, disrupting the opener. INexorable does lock the probe in. We could try to save it with a recall. We'll see if he goes that far. As the probe is going to get eyes on the gas. Oh, not quite. There's the recall. Saves the worker. Saves the probe. We're not claiming is natural. Reaper moves out. From here, we can set up and go into our initial drop play. We can go for early cyclones. We'll see kind of what is done with the add-ons here. Going for the reactor, not going for the earlier tech lab. Okay, no add-on swap. INexorable was going to reactor marine production. No big commitment into Reapers or Hellions. And Greenert once again going into Blink. I would expect to see a higher gateway count this time, whether it's 3 gate Blink, even 4 gate Blink Stalker. See how aggressive Greenert plans on being. We shall see. That'll be the answer. He's going for his early 1-1-1. Early Viking production, we're going for the early push. So 1-1-1, waiting for the tank to move out, waiting for the Viking as well. This has been a very trendy build over the past 2 months, I want to say. Over the past 2 months. Even this morning, we saw Clem do this in his series against Classic during the Wardy TV Monday. But again, hyper aggressive. The Viking here is going to be reinforcing, going to be landing. It's all about the tank positioning. It's all about protecting that tank as well. Can Greenert keep it alive? Oh, tank getting within range. And so far, so good. Yeah, he zones away the Stalkers. Tank takes out the shield battery. Battery goes down. Thankfully, the tank is a little bit far back, within range of the Nexus. But yeah, this is just a brutal position here. Blink is finishing up in 10 seconds. Can we have a second tank on the way? The base is under fire. He's one of the boys. He's gonna go for it. Up. And Greenert, he's gonna try to dive forward. Oh, going for the Cyclone, going for the tank as well. Okay. He gets one tank, but the other punishes. And with that, INexorable, he has broken the main army. There's 4 Stalkers left. Oh, the pickup micro. I say that we have 2 more on the way. 6 in total. The Nexus is low, but it's not dead yet. Oh, never mind. he's gonna get it. Never mind, Bappy. Stalkers that have on the tank. Tank does barely go down. INexorable are not going for the Nexus. Totally could. Pulls away, and Greenert, he barely holds on. He saves the base, Pappy. Barely. He saves the expansion. Now, bearing in mind that, again, this was a very committed build by INexorable, and because of that, late stim, late eBay, late +1, late combat shields, the upgrades here for INexorable are very delayed. But I would say he dealt critical damage here. If he had killed the Nexus, that would have been enough, right? Like, INexorable would have taken a massive lead. But failing to kill the expansion does give Greenert a chance, an opportunity to recover. I would say that Greenert is still in a rough position. Things are still looking bleak here for Greenert, but he has potential and he is moving out. Can he make use of this army? Back at home, there's 2 tanks. One at the natural, one in the main base. Bunker at the natural as well. Greener's looking very... INexorable's looking in position. Solid. Ooh, losing 14 probes across the map. Critical damage. Viking at the natural, Viking in the main base. Never mind. Greener's all in. Does get a tank, but he needs so much more than that. And the Pyro army comes down. 18, 19 probe kills. That one Viking is still just popping off across the map. Da-da. Yeah, the harass just proves to me a little bit too much. Yeah, and GG gets called. No final fight there. As INexorable, he will take a lead in the series 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a really brutal start for Greenert as he was unable to initially get on top of the tank. He was unable to protect his shield battery, his pylon. He lost control of the low ground. He had to pull the boys, and it was a very, very rough defense. Technically, yes, Greenert did save the expansion, did save the natural, but that wasn't enough to take a lead. That wasn't enough to really gain momentum. He was able to tread water there, but wasn't able to get any real counter damage done. So tanks already, bunkers already as well. We could have seen a longer game there, but unfortunately the Land Vikings did so much damage, crippling the economy. GG. GG all played. With that, we're going to be loading into Lumen here for game number 4. A map that I'm not very familiar with, I'll be honest. Interesting. Loading into Lumen. Let's go. As INexorable needs one more game to claim the series. Una más, papi, una más. Go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lumen, we have the yellow Terran player, the Brazilian Terran, leading the series at 2-1 and 1 game away from claiming the best of 5. It is INexorable. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the green Protoss player. We have the green Protoss, we have the Canadian Protoss for Born Gosu. It is Greenert. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 4. Potentially the final game of the series. And INexorable, he needs on a mass. One more game to claim the series. We'll see if he can take it. As for now, we're loading into Lumen. Again, a map that I'm not very familiar with, I'll be honest. Does have an interesting map layout here. Has a mineral patch, a mineral wall leading into the natural. Very talisman-esque. True. Very talisman-esque. As Greenert is going for the proxy. Yeah, going for the proxy. 2 probes move out, pylons being thrown down, and it is time to be aggressive from the Protoss side of things. Greenert going for the proxy pylon, double gas opener out of INexorable, going for a faster factory. So already a safe build here from the Terran. Does look like a shorter rush distance by ground. Jesus, very open here towards the 3rd. We'll see if the Reaper scouts in this location. We'll see where he heads. I suppose they do make it back. Tries to make it back home. INexorable moves out. And he should recognize that something is amiss. Oh, spots for Zella. Spot for Zella. Stalker production has begun across the map. This is another change. I believe the... no, never mind. I was going to say that the build time was reduced on the warp gates. That is true on the gateways, but that's only after warp gate is done researching, so doesn't impact this setup as warp gate is still not yet done. Stalkers are moving out. Reaper Hellion is amassing, so we're getting into the main. Boys are being pulled, and he's all just trying to buy some time here, trying to buy time for his Reapers. But even then, he's going to be stuck with Reaper Hellion. It's not going to be ideal against these Stalkers. One Reaper goes down, but he will get the first Stalker. Yeah, snipes the Stalker. Factory production's non-existent. INexorable is in danger. Being forced back. His macro was slipping. Some his macro, but he does have a high ground control. Control the high ground. Punishing another Stalker. Oh god. At least attending to. INexorable overextends. Failed to kill the Stalkers. Bunker's now on the way, but this is late. Yeah, late bunker, late reinforcements. The wall is broken. There's a cancellation, and Greenert, he's doing it. He's breaking through. Do we make it to the ace match? Already cutting back, getting 10 SCVs. Getting over the final Hellion. And again, INexorable's production was stifled. Like he was panicking a little bit. GG gets called, and Greenert ties up the series. We're going to the ace match. Whew. GG. We're going to the ace match, going to game 5. Again, an intense back and forth here so far. Greenert able to catch INexorable with his pants down. Again, INexorable, he unfortunately had a late reaction, late bunker. His factory wasn't producing for quite some time. He had the money for it as well. So again, it was a bit of a chaotic, a bit of a messy defense out of INexorable. GG. GG, well played. It looks like the final game is going to be on Taito Citadel. Okay. It's going to be on Taito. Didn't get to see the map. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't really quite get to embrace the map itself, Smurge. But it did have some interesting features when it came to the mineral wall in the main base, the worker path, the setup of the 3rd and 4th bases. We might be able to get that later. Maybe. This map is basically Talisman version 2. Oh god. Oh no. For better or for worse. More Talisman. But looks like our players are having some issues here, and they're going to be going on a short break. Short break. So we're going to be going on a short break here. When we come back, we'll have the remainder of the series. We'll have the rest of this best of 5. Now, bearing in mind, this is a single elimination tournament, single elimination brackets. We still have another portion of the bracket to go here when it comes to the quarterfinals, then leading into the semis, and then into the grand finals thereafter. So we'll see you soon. See you soon after this very short break. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Title Citadel. Welcome back to the Ace Match, the final game here of this series of our initial best of 5 of the broadcast. We've made it. This is where it all ends. This is where it all comes together. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the Brazilian Terran player. We have the yellow Terran. It is INexorable. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Green Protoss, the Green Protoss himself, representing born goes to from land of Canada. It is Greenert. I appreciate that he's been green this entire series. he's on brand, Pappy. He's on brand. He be green. Beautiful. As welcome to Title Citadel, one of the more quote-unquote standard maps, or at least a ladder map here in this series. Title Citadel is not really seen too often, I will say, is often vetoed, has its own unique kind of setup, unique format, or unique layout, I should say. When it comes to the distance between the 3rd base and the 4th base, but that's only if we get that far. I'll be honest, like, so far this series, the games have been quite fast. We've had a lot of aggression here so far in this series. We haven't really embraced the mid game too often. You're able to see a bit of that on Washout, of course. True. Did have more of a back and forth on Washout more than anything. Where do we go? For now, it is going to be a more tech heavy start out of INexorable, going for the faster factory. Once again, going for a safer build. We saw the last game, he was, again, the macro was slipping a little bit. Later bunker, later reaction. This time I'm sure he's tightening up. Locking in. Reaper does step out. And we have a tech of choice. It's going to be a Twilight Council. Twilight Council opener out of Greenert. Working towards Blink, I would imagine. Oh, Reaper gets in, gets 2 probes. Brutal pickoffs. As more workers are going down, getting up to 3. 3, 4 probe kills. Reaper heading in towards the natural. Greener being picked apart early on here. Yeah, again, no safety shield battery, getting up to 6, 7 probes. It's getting out of hand. 7 workers go down for 1 Reaper and 1 Hellion. Well worth of INexorable. And again, it wasn't even a big commitment here. Stalker does get some counter damage, but the Cyclone is on the way. Nice control. Forcing the recall. Vikings on the way as well. It tells us that we're going for a tank. We're going for the early 1 base push. Sorry, 2 base push. If you recall, we saw this earlier in the series. did see this earlier. It's going to be a tough hold, especially after losing 7 probes. Hallucination does get eyes on the 1-1-1. Oh, wait, did he cancel? No. Made the Viking. Viking does move out, is spotted. Oh, this Wild Council's so exposed. But this time it's a unique variation. Yes, he's still building up those early tanks, but not going for the medevac, going for the Raven instead. Hiking ahead towards the main. And yeah, it looks like INexorable, he's building up into the mid game, going for the add-on swap into Stim. So Stim is going to be on the way, eBay +1. INexorable's going for a later timing. Still finding damage there. I'm still getting 4 probe kills. Oof. Well worth the tearing. This time Greenert, he's actually getting into the mid game, getting into charge, slowly building up. His stalkers are in position to spot any kind of move out. Hopefully. And we have a bit of a lull here. We have a bit of downtime. As INexorable, he should be staying at home and turtling up until his upgrades finish. So still waiting for Stim, combat shields +1. Waiting for the upgrades. Scan reveals there's still a Twilight Council upgrade on the way. Doesn't get eyes on the Bay. Greenert once again working towards Colossus. So normally does break out. Oh, catching the observer. Greenert rotates. Zorbo's keeping up. Oh, we'll lose the Raven though. Okay, nice pickup. Raven goes down. Late reaction out of the Terran. INexorable is expanding. He's getting his 3rd TC. His upgrades are finishing. Now would be the time to push. Now they're just going for the drop. He's going for the drop instead. Oh god. I mean, it worked out. Punishes the stalkers. Oh. So slowly getting to 3 base saturation. So he distracts here at the 3rd. Dodge drive the army over. Let's go for the main yet. This feels a little bit mistimed, but the double drop is headed for the main. Dives into the main base, does pull the army into the main as well. The reason why this feels mistimed is because INexorable's not really pressuring with his own main army yet. Just now moving in. And we'll see if he can siege up in between the bases. We'll catch a tank, sorry, we'll catch a Colossus. And Colossus goes down, massive pickup, now getting on top of the Robo. Oh, and this is brutal. Yeah, the Robo's under fire. So I'll say, do we get on top of the first tank? Okay. First tank goes down. All three tanks are down. Better trades here for the Protoss. Drop does get into the main. Wait, no, wait. I just realized there's no warp gate. I just God damn it. Okay, sure. Yo, we playing like a Terran player. Let's go, let's go. But I only just noticed. I mean, this is more viable. I get. Wait. No, never mind. I was gonna say this. No, warp gate was research. Sorry, he just didn't warp. He just didn't morph them in. Interesting. That will delay reinforcements. The bio army gets into the middle line. Boys are being pulled. Brutal economic damage. Getting 17 probes. 17 workers go down. Quite get the pylon. And in the Greener, he's just being pulled apart. He's being pulled apart. We can't keep that back. I just looking at this. That's all I'm looking at. Yeah, I know. Well, Greener, we think we're tearing that. He does catch a couple of units. Alright, I should explain this as well. I was referring to how this is more viable in this patch on this mod. This mod does actually reduce the time it takes for units to build from the gateways if warp gate is researched. So technically this is better than in base SC2. I would say still not ideal, but sure. Greener team moves out. Moves out. Ghosts are just now on the way. Needs a little bit more time. As INexorable, he's almost maxed. He's getting there. 175. Ghost and I in the mix. EMPs. Second starport's on the way. Building up into more Vikings. Ooh, as Greener completely out of position here. And Woodbines is setting up. He's pushing into the minefield. Into the concave. And we even flank the army as well. Just a brutal position here. Greener is going to be completely shut down, losing all the Colossus, the army, the gateway units, the everything. Oof. As all the Colossus go down. Storm is not researched. We're trying to pull away with that final Colossus. Yeah, but he cannot get away. Cannot get away. INexorable, he has done it. He has broken Greenert. Did go all the way to the ace match. Did have a bit of a back and forth here, but getting desperate, pulling the boys. 16 probe kills. GG gets called, and INexorable will take the series 3-2, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. INexorable, he will claim the series, but a shout out to Greenert for making a series out of this. Personally, I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be a little bit one-sided, just because INexorable, he does have a history when it comes to this mod and has a lot of wins, a lot of championships under his belt. But here Greenert did stand his ground, did hold his own. GG, well played, congratulations to INexorable. Shout out to Greenert, big shout out. Whew, as that wraps up our quarterfinals, and now we can look towards the rest of the quarterfinals here. I believe Pig is going to be getting ready for his matchup. I believe we also have it is going to be Pig versus Soon and Akedon versus Meowridoom in those quarterfinals, as we are waiting for the players to get ready for us here. Meanwhile, I believe Steadfast is covering Mixer versus Kinpatch. A little bit less familiar with Kinpatch. He is a random player. Bear that in mind. He's random. For now, though, we are going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll see which one we get into. Again, our players are just getting ready as we speak, and once they're ready, once they're set up, we can dive into our next quarterfinals match. Sadly, Meowridoom is no-show and will likely be replaced. Oh, no, Meowridoom. It's a little bit unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Hopefully everything's okay, though. Hopefully everything's okay. Fingers crossed. For now, though, we're going to be cutting to a short break, and when we come back, we'll have the next series. We'll have some more Patch Clash. See you soon. See you soon. Bye. See you soon.